Hey my dear friends, and welcome to K-reef Aquarium Hobby. My name is Kevin and it's still the wettest channel of Europe you are watching at. So today I want to talk to you about how my tanks are doing. So a small update about the big tank after all the some colonies that have been stripped after the brown jelly disease on the torch coral, and how is the Nano doing with this red cyano. So I took you in my hands so I could go around the tank. Here is the torch, the small frags, or small, they are not so small actually, but you see after the brown jelly I cutted them and they are doing really well, the ones that survived. Very happy with it. I have a Saphastria here. Meteor shower is growing again because now the torch can't get to it. Before, when it was the big colony, it was yeah, killing it actually, but as you see, the rock is I cemented it against the rest of the rock structure, so I couldn't change it. Down here, candy canes, Calustrea is doing really good and growing. These red mushrooms are doing really good and growing. I have taken off a piece of that rock with a lot of them on, and that's in my frag tank, what is also a part of the sump, of course. Here it's all doing good, and this bird's nest is doing great. It was bleaching some time ago again in the middle, but now it's all growing in again. The other bird's nest, the Hystrix, that I had here was a big colony, and you see there is a small frag left, but also that didn't survive. It's just in one day time it was completely white and gone. Yeah, very strange. All the rest is doing great. This Acropora is growing and always showing polyps extensions. This one isn't growing fast but staying alive. Montipora's growing fast. Yeah, these are growing fast and doing good. The Gonioporas, Alveopora doing good. This small pink Goniopora frag is doing great. This one is growing great. Yeah, of course the Xenia is always growing. Here, a lot of mushrooms, a whole big rock full of them. This one could use more flow, I think. These are little frags that I took from the other Hystrix or bird nest, the green one. Actually, I didn't take them off. I broke them off while I was grabbing this Forest Fire digitata. It was also grown good. It had a nice green base, but I think this... oh, I need to rescue it maybe. The clowns just knocked it over. Sad that I didn't have it on camera. They're protecting their home, and they knocked over the snail. It's a big snail. You can see, you know, if you see the clownfish and the snail, or here it's almost a full size 6-line wrasse, so you see how big the snail is. I will help it soon. I think it knocked the rock. It was standing there in the back. It knocked and suddenly, after months of standing there, it was lying behind the rockwork in the dark. I had nothing to reach there and take it out, so I had to order a long stick, a grabber, because the old one broke, and it has been there for a few days. That's why it lost the color. A lot of pieces broke off that I can't reach to take out now, and by doing that, you know, the green Hystrix is on top there. I broke also pieces off, and that's I glued to the rock. Here the Elegance Coral is doing really good. All the hammers, you know, all the Euphyllias are doing great. This one is awesome and doing great. It took time before it started growing heads, and when it did, it started growing a lot of heads at the same time. So it took a long time, it took months before it opened up again like it is now, and it's a really nice bowl of Dunkins. Yeah, as you see, so the hammers, these zoas are doing great, the people eaters, green ones in the front, and behind the back there are some red ones. But it's one of the first zoa rocks that I had in my tank. I think if you go back, way back to the first videos, you will see it was lying here in the front, a small rock with left green people eaters and right red people eaters. But you see some reds in between, but the green ones are actually yeah, taking over the whole rock. Here in the back there you see some more reds, but the rest is almost green. The filefish, I still couldn't catch it. He leaves those alone. On the rock here I had a lot of rastas. He eated every one of them. So I placed the rocks, all the rocks with my zoas in the sump, in the frag tank, or in the Nano, because he was eating all of them. But strangely, he doesn't touch this rock. He doesn't touch it at all. They're growing fast. He doesn't touch the palitoas that I have. So very strange. He don't touch these ones. So that's good. I have some Recordia here who are doing good. There are two babies. Oh, sorry. In the back, we can't film them now. Yeah. So overall, after having some problems with some corals, the tank is doing good, staying stable. Now for the Nano, you still see I have the red cyano. I have here the acons that I had in the big tank, but I couldn't leave them there because also the filefish were picking on them. But you see they're doing good. This is a rainbow. See, the small polyp has the nice rainbow colors, but the red ones are the big ones are losing them. Maybe due to the light, I don't know. The other ones are also doing great, and they are still keeping the same colors that I had on them in the big tank. Here is also a piece of forest fire, but as you see also here, it has not the green anymore. I don't know, is it due to the light? I think Montipora digitata, the forest fire, I think it mainly needs a lot of blue to keep the green. I noticed that helps, and not too much light. There is Sally. Sally is getting really big, but still doing strong. Then the toadstool, as you see, the waving hands have been really stinging it, but I changed the flow in the tank. Now the waving hands are staying there, and polyps are coming, opening back again slowly here. But it's growing good. The devil's hand is growing good. This one is always doing great. Look how fuzzy. I really like this coral. It's nice and pink and fluffy. So one day when I have a bigger tank for only softies, yeah, I really want a big colony of these ones. Then the Kenya tree is doing great. On top here, all is doing great. I had a lot of buttons here, or zoas, yeah, sorry, we call them buttons. But they were shaded by this bird's nest. So I broke off a lot of stuff. And they get some more light, but now they get stung by the Aptasia. And I tried to kill them. But every time I want to do that, you know, my two clowns, and especially the female, she really come and harass me and harass the needle. So I don't want to something happens with her, and it makes it really difficult to get the fluid into the mouths of this Aiptasia, but I really need to do something about it because it's killing off the buttons, the zoas. On this rock I have green algae, and what's very strange, it shows that the tank is not fully in balance. I really don't measure a lot of nitrates and phosphates. Anyway, they are available in the tank because otherwise, there wouldn't be so much green algae. But it's probably also because of there is, I don't know, not much, maybe too much cleanup crew that picks on the rocks for the algae. But strange is that all this rock here, there is nothing, no algae, nothing on it. Only here in the back, and sponges, really much sponges growing there. And here was a big one, but that's suddenly gone. There is a piece of Kenya tree there in the back. And then, of course, the cyano. What I'm started to do now since last week is to take small bits of water out the big tank and switch it with the Nano. So I'm doing only small water changes now to bring the water parameters as to the same as the big tank, and I hope with that everything gets more in balance and it dissolves the problem with the cyano. I also I have, you see the waving hands, I have lots of flow in this tank, so I'm trying on the natural way to get more stability and some more nutrients. Maybe that helps in this tank for the cyano. So as you see in this tank, I don't have any problems with algae, don't have any problems with cyano. I have the green on the glass here that I still need to scrape off. But and for the rest, the sand bed looks great. Looks no problems. So that was the fast update for both of my tanks. I'm happy with them. I'm not too worried about the red cyano in the Nano, as long as it doesn't start to cover up all the corals. It have been worse. Maybe it's starting to get better now when I'm switching out the water. So let's hope for to resolve that problem there. And for the rest, I'm very happy with my tanks. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon again. And for the new ones on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. So, bye bye.